Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're looking at a race around Road Atlanta in the GT3 series. This is my second lap of qualifying. I just set a 120.5 and as I come through the S's, I come up to this left-hander, which is definitely going to be the bane of my existence this week. Definitely having a bit of a hard time here with this one. As you can see, I had a really rough time with it on that lap, but that's okay. Still managed to set a half decent time, I guess, but I'm starting all the way down in P16. And here we come around the last corner to start our first lap. Everybody coming through, and we've got Loki in front of us on defensive. Hop on board with me. Take it fairly easily through the first corner. Just trying to make sure there's no accidents. Try to actually finish the race. Learning from last week. And of course, being a little bit spooked from qualifying. As we jump ahead and jump on here with Britton and Zach, these two are going to have a couple of encounters in this race. We're going to see these two a few times. And look at Zach here, right, left, right. I don't know, you tell me in the comments down below, what do you think? Was that a block or not, or just good hard defending? But now also seems to be kind of pushing the number 25 car to the left. Comes in again and looks like more contact there. Yeah, I don't know. You let me know down in the comments. Is that good hard defending or a little bit too much? But nah. Let's have a look at me coming up to turn 1 on lap 2. As we have Matthew out of the pits. He is a lap down, but Matthew is also somebody that we are going to be seeing a little bit of throughout this race. Okay. As we come down the back straight here, getting to the double right-hander, David is pretty close to Cody up ahead. And Ryan behind me is actually getting relatively close, only 0.25 of a second behind. But thankfully, as you can see on the relative, I am able to increase the gap just ever so slightly. He's not able to make a move into the braking zone. I'm able to hold on to P13 for now. As once again, we jump ahead here and have James. Going wide, getting overtaken by 2 cars. Britton also takes advantage, slices in front. Thankfully, they don't have any contact coming through the S's, and James has to settle into P8. Let's jump ahead to lap 4. So I come up behind David and Cody and get a great run through that double right-hander down this long straight. And move to the right-hand side. I get beside David, and as soon as I'm clear on David, I move to the left, and I want to go to the inside here of Cody too, but then for some reason I jerk a little bit to the right there and make contact with Cody, unfortunately, which opens up the door again for David, but we get through that chicane too wide and without any incident, but that gives him a poor line through the last corner and opens up the door for Brian. And in fact, I'm a little bit deep in the first corner, and this is kind of a little sniff here, but he kind of backs out. Well, doesn't really back out. I don't think he really had the chance. He wasn't that close. So let's have a look at Maxim up ahead. Excuse me, behind us, as he goes for a move. And take a look at Matthew here as well. Lapped car, dipping down the inside as well. Yeah, just in the middle of the pack here with us, just keeping up a lap down, getting right in the middle of all the fighting. I mean, I guess, mind you, he did get through on that one relatively cleanly and really put it in the off, but yeah, he's definitely in the middle of our pack here. Anyway, let's have a look at Maxim and Lewis, as unfortunately Lewis just a few positions lost just down that straight there. Okay, as we jump ahead to lap 7, let's hop on board here with Brian, coming up through the S's, as I get a terrible run through that left. And for some reason, I don't really go defensive and open up the inside. And Brian makes a good move, good clean move up the inside. And I don't fight it too much because I'm trying not to lose too much time there, as I saw Maxim and Lewis right behind me too. And in fact, I decided to go push Brian here just so that the two of us can try to make a little gap here to Maxim and Lewis. I felt like I didn't want to be under threat there for losing a position. I was rather trying to make some space. And there, Maxim gets a little too close to me and gives me a little love tap, and that causes him to get a little loose and opens up the door for Lewis. And he slides up. Now on lap 8, we have a look at Joshua running a little deep here, going through the grass, losing the position. And another one. I want to cone onto the track too. But thankfully for him, doesn't actually lose too much time and is able to keep going on his way. As we come through my second, well, the corner I find the second most difficult, and I guess one of the most important corners too. Coming up this long back straight here. I'm still in P13, trying to catch up to Joshua. And in fact here I have a lot of overrun, I feel like, and I'm able to just slide up the inside of the braking zone. And I'm able to hold on to the position, and Lewis behind is able to do a nice switchback on Joshua and sneak down the inside into the last corner. And in fact, Maxim is also able to go down the inside. And that was a fortunate couple of corners there for Joshua. And then now the lap car Matthew also coming by. So that's really unfortunate for him here now. Not only has he lost a bunch of positions, but now he's also got a lap car in the middle of all that. And he's under threat from Matt now behind too. Yeah, definitely not the greatest one there. And now for me, I have Matthew on my tail, which I definitely was not looking forward to. Having a lap car trying to battle me here throughout this race. As I try to catch back up to Maxim, thankfully I am able to open up the gap here, even though Matthew has the slipstream, and he comes in deep, loses it under braking, and thankfully doesn't need too hard or anything and puts me off. Yeah, I don't think I was on the brakes any harder than normal there, so I'll I hate to say it on one hand, but I don't really feel bad for that one. I don't think I did anything wrong there. But anyway, as Maxim makes a lovely move down into turn 1 and 2. Well, let's have a look at the number 25 car from P7 as he loses it going into turn 1. And look at the amount of cars that are going to go by. And there I go by. And it's going to basically be the entire field. 14 cars, unfortunately. As we come through turn 1 with Zach and James. Zach gets hit wide, rolls backwards against the wall. This is a rear end. And rejoins just behind me. And look at all the damage he has to the back end of that vehicle and loses through the left and unfortunately loses several positions there as well and decides to tow back to the pits. Let's skip ahead to lap 13 as I'm trying to make it past Mason. Finally catching up to him. Getting a good run for the last chicane and the last corner. Let's see what I can do here as we start lap 14. In fact, Mason runs wide, runs onto the grass, and I am able to make a relatively easy pass down the inside of the corner. And I'm able to open up a nice 1.2 second gap relatively quickly as well. Let's have a look at the brightly colored BMW of the number 26 here, and he gets loose to the double right-hander. He goes back to the pit. And down the back straight. Look at this entire gaggle come through here. As we move ahead to lap 15, we jump on board Joshua in P12. He gets a much better run through the double right. And is he going to go for the move? Yes, he does. And he's able to get past for the braking zone. And Matt does get on the power well. Coming out of the chicane, he does have a look down the inside. But unfortunately, he's not able to make it work. And in fact, 2 cars behind, David and Jamie there get a fantastic run through the last sector and catch right up here. We jump ahead to lap 20 while I have Mason behind me, about a second. He gets a great run as we enter the pits. He does close up on me just as I'm a little tentative there entering into the pits. And I've got a clean pit stop and away we go, but so does Mason. He's right on my tail. And if we have a look there, leaving the pits, he's only 0.17 behind me, so I think he's definitely gained there through that pit stop phase. But let's see what I can do here leaving the pits. Back that run, get a little bit loose there and run a little bit wide. But thankfully I'm able to get through that sequence of corners fairly well. I do get a little loose, but thankfully for me, so does Mason. So that means that I am able to hold the gap relatively steady there at 0.23 seconds. And as you see there, he goes a little bit deep into the chicane, and I'm able to open up the gap through the last corner. So let's jump ahead to lap 22 and have a look at David as he goes for a bit of a lunge from way back, but doesn't really fully execute it. But he goes down the inside here and through the last corner. They both keep it relatively clean. He does chop him off, though, I think, as soon as he gets in front. Hard racing, but looked pretty clean there. On board with Mason on lap 23, having a look at me in front, and I'm 0.8 in front, but we do have a long straight coming up, and I run wide, get on the grass, not able to get on the power as well as I normally should, and Mason is able to catch right up. Look at that on the relative, they're 0.2 seconds behind and catching. He has a little look down the inside. I don't really go defensive, and thankfully he's not able to send it down the inside, but I get a poor run through the chicane and he hits me, and he knocks me a little wide. I give him a headlight flash, so I wasn't too happy about that. I feel like he kind of just, I don't know, should have gone around me there maybe, or gone off the accelerator. And unfortunately, I was not able to defend down the inside there against Mason and Jamie, and they both are able to sneak around me. That was a very unfortunate set of corners there for me, as it be right back in the middle of this pack now. But let's see here what we can do against David up ahead, and at the same time we gotta watch out Joshua, as he is only 0.3 seconds behind, and he gets a great run through that double right-hander down this long back straight. Thankfully, once again, not close enough to the braking zone to make a move. In fact, the blue Merc behind is having a look. And unfortunately, that is when I go deep into turn one. Open the door. Give space. Keep it deep there. Unfortunately, lose another 2 positions. Not the best couple laps for me there. And the number 7 car, fortunately, loses it as we come through. And there is also Dave, lost it at the same time. As we have a look from one position behind me on board with Scott. A good run through that section, and is now right on my tail, 0.2 seconds behind. But thankfully, I seem to be able to have a good sort of top speed right at the end of the straight here. And he's not able to make a move down the inside. Having said that, this is a bit of a drafty track, and does sort of lend itself to that. Because as you saw, I didn't really make any headway on the car in front of me either. As we go through turn one, the number 30 car going a little bit wide, but I'm unable to take advantage. and I go wide, getting a little bit loose, but thankfully, hold on. Now through the double right, once again. On the power, I get a little bit squirrely. Is he able to make a move this time? Only 0.1 behind, let's have a look. I don't go defensive. I do leave the opening and he dives down. We leave each other space, and that does give me the inside for the right. And that puts him actually under pressure now from Matt, which is great for me. He runs a touch wide onto the grass, meaning he's got to get off the throttle. Lets Matt through, and then now the lap car Matthew is all over him and trying to get past him too. As we have a look ahead of me, Joshua runs a touch wide, but he's able to hold on pretty well to that and only loses a little bit of time. He is down one position. As we move forward to lap 28, we're gonna have Matthew making moves. He's fighting with cars. I don't know. And the colorful BMW there, the 26 is not enjoying that at all. The lap car is getting right in the middle of that fight. But on one hand, it does kind of open up the door for him against Matt in the orange Porsche. But yeah, flashing his lights up ahead of Matthew. Definitely not happy. Okay, let's skip ahead to the last lap of the race, lap 30. As we head down the back straight for the last time. I am approximately 0.6 seconds behind Joshua, so I don't think I'll be able to make a move into the last chicane. And thankfully for me, I have enough distance between me and Matthew that he is also unable to do anything against me here in the last chicane and ruin my race or anything silly. But as we approach the finish line, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. Perhaps leave a comment, let me know which camera angle you enjoyed or maybe didn't enjoy. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, please do subscribe. Thank you, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.